Ghostblade.
We prefer you show us in getting kills and not walking into 3 members and dying. That's a better way of showing you're strong.
I mean, technically, they walked into him because it was his tri-bush first.
Yeah, but he shouldn't have been there in the first place. Your whole team went back to the base.
You're trespassing on neighbor's property.
That's right. The Commodores didn't have any of that. So 1 kill heading back on over to Vandy. But again, Texas A&M up a solid gold lead, and Vandy do not have that many options to get back into the game.
They really don't. You think about you go down your list as a team and say, all right, what are we actually going to do to come back into this? And some aggression like that definitely works, but Glory just decides to you know, body slam over the wall.
Well, it works if it connects. If it doesn't connect,
yes, then they do have a solid pick composition. We are late enough in the game that multiple members can burst down a single member of Texas A&M, but now
Panda going in and gets blown up. Nice flash away by Black Panda, and we'll keep him safe. Vandy picking up that kill, so a 1-for-1 on the mid laners, all the while on the bottom side of the map. Bot with the beer, trying to walk himself away. Vandy will be picking that one up, but here comes YG with a vengeance, but the fight is getting turned on its head. Drovey starting to pop off, and the carry in the top lane starting to show its teeth. Glory forced back, and Vandy find themselves a couple kills.
Well, we gave them a little bit of flack. We're not sure how much they're going to come back, but getting kills definitely is able to help you out in that instance, and they were able to pick themselves up a cube. And now
Chuck Normus wants some more. Body slam slows down both members, but Landy coming around the backside will pick up a kill. So 2 kills heading on over to Chuck, 1 over to Vandy.
Very back and forth, and Vanderbilt's okay with this because it allows them to stall the game out and catch themselves up a little bit further, but I don't think they're necessarily realizing the strength of scaling that Texas A&M has. Both Syndra as well as Chuck Normus are 4-1-5 and 6-1-3 respectively. They have all the power, and so getting themselves an extra kill certainly going to make things a little bit easier for them as we're at just over the 19-minute mark. Vanderbilt showing glimmers of hope, but it is still Texas A&M in control.
Texas A&M is in control. The gold lead still bubbling around 6,000, 6,500. Texas A&M, it's their game to lose. The only way that Vandy is going to be able to get back in this is if they continue to overstay or not push together as a team or not pressure the map together as a team. And like you said, find picks with Ominous Mirror. Find picks with the Hextech Ultimatum coming out of Camille and use the numbers advantage. But Landy picking up those 2 kills means a lot for the damage dealer for Vandy.
As now Fat YG has decided to flip over to the bottom side of the map. He has teleport available, and with both the inner and outer turrets for the top side being down, it's just the simple cookie cutter. If you were to write a book on League of Legends and macro strategy, something like what Texas A&M is doing right now would definitely be on the table, as you want to take out that outer ring of turrets and then you float into the inner ring, because the more control of the enemy jungle that you can have, the better off you're going to be and the more successes that you're going to find. As you can see, the lack of vision that Vanderbilt has on this bottom side of the map, and Texas A&M is definitely taking control of it.
Yep, base defense is now the order of operation for Vanderbilt. They need to hang out here, continue to stall the game out so that their damage dealers can get more damage items, so that Rakan can get in and probably finish an Ardent Sensor at some point. 1st of July getting deleted. Highly skilled play by Mr. Black Panda. Drop a couple of spheres, press R, see you later, opposite mid laner.
All in your face, Mr. Bird. Decides to go down, and now with him not unavailable.
The cask isn't going to land onto too much. It's a zoning cask by Glory, but it'll allow Texas A&M to take the tower, and Vandy forced to defend the base because the minions are coming in from the mid lane, and the mid lane inhibitor has now finally respawned, and it looks like Texas A&M has timed up everything perfectly. So Vandy might be on their last standy right here, right now, as the Aggies continue to push in through the mid lane. And Vandy wants to find a pick. Maybe Texas A&M overstays here. They will play smart. They will back off.
They have no reason to over-regress. They're up 12 kills and almost 10,000 gold at only 21.5 minutes in this game. They are running this as smoothly as possible. What seemed like a very solid sense of missteps in game 1, they cleaned up their act and have been putting together a surgical dissection of the Vanderbilt towers and the rest of the Vanderbilt map. It is not looking good for the Commodores. You think about what they have for outs, and quite honestly, I don't see any.
There aren't many back indeed, especially with the inhibitors down. It makes it difficult to get into the jungle areas, clear out vision to set up picks. And this is where vision becomes very important for both teams, right? If you're Texas A&M, you want to set up vision to prevent Vanderbilt from getting out, and you can continue to force them to fight 5v5. If you're Vanderbilt, you want the vision to see if anyone is being a little overzealous. We've seen YG be overzealous and get caught out and get blown up. And so Vandy needs to set that up.
And they do indeed, securing themselves in vision, get those pick compositions a little bit more accurate. But now Texas A&M realizing that they have two lanes of super minions at their disposal. It's going to be the denial of vision around that Baron pit, and this is going to be the instance where Vanderbilt might want to try to stop it, but they're going to have to be very careful. Oh, no!
Black Panda just zoning out the mid laner. 1st of July, not having his best game at all. 1-5-1. Who's going to be the hero for Vandy? And it has to be Vandy Landy. All the while, though, Texas A&M will continue to take the Baron. Fat YG 1v1ing Drovey. That's not what you want if you're Vanderbilt. And YG has everything to do. He's going to back off because he knows that the Twitch can go camo and deal some damage. Nice block there by Ominous Mirror to keep his AD carry safe. But Texas A&M just slowly methodically doing exactly what they need step by step. With only 3 members to defend, Vanderbilt in a little bit of trouble. Flash forward will get up a massive stun. The cast knocks back the damage dealers, and Texas A&M are going to start taking the towers and hit the Nexus.
The Nexus is going to go down. They're going to try to see some sort of last
there's
hit.
one, there's two. Nice Emperor's Divide, slowing things down. Ominous Mirror flashing away, but he'll get popped and rocked. Drovey, though, still alive, trying to deal damage, trying to get on bot with the beer, but he will not, and that will be Texas A&M taking the game and taking the series, moving on to the 10 Gig Collegiate Invitational Finals.
And the Aggies of College Station had a little bit of a misstep in game 1, but it was game 2 where they went back to their roots. They went back to the foundation.
Chuck Norris.
As you see a nice little thumbs up from Chuck Norris being like, yeah, it's all in that Red Bull, man. They picked themselves up a clean 2-0, and the Aggies are putting themselves in the finals.
Yeah, again, comprehensive victory here for Vandy, for Texas A&M. As expected, these guys played like the favorites, and that's the thing in a best-of-3 series. You know, it's always easy to come up with a trick plan, a trick play, but what tests the mettle of champions is the consistent play. And Texas A&M has answered the bell every time.
And it's not just consistent play, but it's the ability to take a good performance and turn it into a great performance next game.
Right.
They did not play bad in game 1.
No.
Drawing back, they had a couple of little missteps, but by and large, they played well. This game, the mistakes they had in game 1, they fixed. They still got themselves a strong draft. They still got themselves some power picks. But more importantly, they were able to play right back into what put them in the knockout stage semifinals themselves, in making sure that every effort, every move that they made as a team, it was with a very specific purpose in mind.
Like the first cheese that happened in the river, both teams wanted to gamble. Only one can win, and that was Texas A&M here, setting back the Commodores early.
It was a communicational effort from Texas A&M, because if you were to take that frame by frame, you know, looking at this as an analyst later on, you would see at an instant, Texas A&M went from attacking whoever they could see to all attacking one individual. And those are the kind of communication skills that you want in a team.
Yeah, and Texas A&M continued the pressure, not always in the proactive sense, but this time in the reactive sense when Vanderbilt wanted to dive on the top side of the map, slow down YG, one of the main staples here, and it gets flipped all around, mainly because Glory was there to hang out and help out his top lane.
Yeah, I think this was... this is when the downhill trends just started to fall for Vanderbilt, because we get the concept. We know what they want to do. You know, YG has no mana,
sidestep.
But the sidestep into flashing the ultimate Drovey to throw that ultimate into the backside of the turret, and then it just so happened that Glory was there close enough to be like, hey guys, I'm here too, and they're able to pick up that double kill, and then Fat YG just snowballs out of control as a result after.
Yeah, and they messed up the turret dive there. It looked like Elise wanted to take the tower priority, get rid of it using repel, which didn't happen, so the jungler just kind of repelled for no reason. I
mean, hindsight 2020, you missed a cocoon and you just back the hell off.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason to go into that if you miss the CC that is necessary to finish that game.
And that's what Vandy made their name for earlier in the tournament, especially against Chattanooga. When they weren't finding the fights they wanted, they're like, okay, that didn't work out. That's fine, but maybe that's a little bit of pressure.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a little bit of nerves. And unfortunately for them, they weren't able to find the right answer here. Texas A&M will be moving on to the finals. And they're going to be playing the winner of Mississippi State versus Georgia Tech, the two teams coming up right now on stage.
This is the match that I'm most excited for in the semifinals. Mississippi State, a team that showed a lot of grit and a lot of promise in the group stage. We were not expecting them to get out of the groups. They went undefeated in their groups. They did fantastic against every team that they played. And then Georgia Tech, a team that we thoroughly enjoyed watching them play. Vanderbilt, actually, the Vanderbilt-Georgia Tech game that we saw with them yesterday was a barn burner. It was fantastic. Now, having the infrastructure that they have in Asian Devil as their coach, as well as the just raw strength that they showed yesterday in the group stage, this is going to be the match to watch here in the semifinals. Well,
you have the opportunity to watch that after we take a short break. We'll have the second playoff series with Georgia Tech against Mississippi State. Don't touch that browser.